What's up, you beautiful collectors? This is Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And on today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the new Takara Tomy Transformers MB-04 Voyager class Shockwave, part of their Transformers movie The Best line. Figures we bought before, but now we're mad because they're better now. Basically, their way of repainting the figures to give us more movie-accurate looking representations of the characters, utilizing toys that they consider are the best. For the package, you got a really cool image of Shockwave there. You got the little flying thing mode, and then you got Sentinel Prime on the top here. You got another image. You got that open window that fully showcases the figure, but he's not in there because I screwed up and I opened it before recording this. On the side of the box, you got still shot images here of the 4 different movies. We got Optimus Prime from the first movie, Bumblebee from Revenge of the Fallen, Shockwave from Dark of the Moon, and then we have Grimlock and Optimus from Age of Extinction. Although I don't think that the Bumblebee is meant to replicate how he looked in Revenge of the Fallen, although we'll get to that. On the back of the package here, you got images of him in his robot as well as his whatever mode, and then you got a whole bunch of stuff that I can't read. On the bottom here, it's upside down. You can see you got various warnings and Twitter information, and taking a page out of the MGO's playlist. That's it for the box. And now here we have the figure. And this does look really very nice. The coloring is a lot more darker. It's a little bit more blue than it was in the original Hasbro release, which was a little bit more purple, kind of giving it more of that Shockwave look where, I don't know. I really do kind of prefer this. The darker, more bluish purple color. I don't know how well that's coming across actually, because as I'm looking at it on screen, it looks a little off. So we'll just do this. There's the new guy. And there's the old one. You can see now the big difference between them. You got that different color with the purplish blue going on. You can see a lot more silver paint on the new guy instead of this kind of the grayish color that the original one had. It has been done now in this kind of very dark gray, some black and everything, and then obviously you got the silver. I mean, the mold is the same. I don't even think that, unlike Optimus Prime, I don't think they changed the face. I'll have to take a closer look at that, but I mean, everything else mold-wise is the same. He does still come with his same mech tech weapon, which we'll take a look at. He also does come with a sword that, when you get the silver on here, you get a lot more of an appreciation for the detail that's actually sculpted into it. It actually looks a lot better with that kind of silver paint. So I mean, that's a very big, a case in point where silver can really, or any kind of paint in general, can really help to pull out all those extra little details. I'm just thrilled with how that turned out. And then you do have the hose here. You can see that the original hose is black. I kind of like the black hose on that a little bit more. And then this one is kind of a purplish gray sort of color. You can see that he still has a Decepticon logo. It's a little bit smaller on the Takara one than what you had on the Hasbro one, but it is still there. You still have that same function where you can move this forward. It still gets a little bit messed up here. You can move this out of the way and you can flex that forward, and then you have to push it all the way to get it to lock into place, but you still have that kind of functionality that still springs back. You can really put this anywhere you want. It's your personal preference. You got a couple different holes. You got one right like there. You have one that you can bring all the way on that side. You can put it over here where I had it initially. So personal preference. I mean, I think that when you're doing this, it kind of gets in the way regardless. So it doesn't really matter too much where you're going to end up putting that. Although I guess if you put it on that side, it's a little bit better. That still kind of gets in the way of it. So again, you know, it's a gimmick. We got that a lot with the Dark of the Moon stuff. I didn't mind it really all that much. I didn't think it took away from the overall enjoyment of the figure. Kind of like it because it's like an homage to that original, you know, Automorph stuff that we got with the first movie, where things kind of move and kind of sort of transform all on their own. I dig that. He still has the wheels down here. You got the little sections right down there. You got the kind of fake treads and everything. You got the little rolly wheel things here in the front. So all in all, I mean, very similar. A lot more paint to detail in the robot mode, which we'll take a look at. But I also do like you got this nice copper color here, whereas this didn't have anything. It's just a straight or gray color for the barrel. And then like this one, you can see you got that nice black color with the little copper highlight right there. That's really nice. But for the vehicle mode, that is it. I mean, we can't really complain too much. I mean, you can't talk about how the fact that he really didn't have a vehicle mode in the movie. So why should he have a vehicle mode here? Maybe they should have put more emphasis on his robot mode because he didn't have a vehicle mode. But I mean, he's a Transformer, so Hasbro is going to give him some kind of an alternate mode. And for what it is, I mean, it's a Cybertronian tank. I mean, it works. I don't mind it really all that much. But the transformation on the guy is the exact same. If you do need any help whatsoever with the transformation, my Dark of the Moon playlist is available for you. So if you need any help, check that out, and you can get any instructions that you may need. But once again, utilizing that good old-fashioned Optibotimus movie magic, we're going to go from Shockwave looking like this to looking like this. And it's just amazing what some different paint choices really can do for this figure. The mold has always been really good. I've never had a problem with it. Even the original colors looked pretty good, but this definitely has a much more dark and movie-accurate look to it. All the silver, the more bits of gold that you get here. I guess part of me, if I were to change something, I would probably change the hand color to match more with kind of the body. I mean, as it is, I mean, even when you had that other hand out there, to me, those colors, and down here as well, just kind of instantly catch your eye and stand out a little bit. It just doesn't seem to fit with the other colors and darkness that the figure has. Now, for a comparison, here he is. And here's the original, and again, you know, this one actually had a fair amount of paint actually put on it. It's just the choices that Hasbro went here kind of wanted to make him look more like his G1 self with the much more purple color. But you got some nice details, like with the chest and everything. I mean, granted, it doesn't have all the extra silver and gold like this does. I think that the chest on this just completely blows anything away that you have here. But a lot of the other stuff looks pretty good. I mean, I do like how, like, for example, up here you have this extra kind of purplish blue color painted on here. You have that on here as well, but it's more matching with the rest. But when you look a little bit further down, this piece right here of his arm actually now has paint, where this one didn't. It's just this gray plastic. So again, just a little extra thrown in there. It really does go a long, long way. One other part that I really do dig, now if you look at the knee pads here, this whole thing was painted in this purple color, which, not bad. I don't have a problem with it. One thing that I like though with this is you can see that this is more designed to match with the rest of the color, but when it was down like so, it was gray, which matched a whole lot nicer in the actual vehicle mode. I think that that's terrific. You got some extra paint details down here. You did have some kind of thrown in there. This just adds a little bit. I mean, you look at the thigh piece here and bringing these down, you can see that the thighs actually have some of that color on here, much like the original one did. But again, similarly to what they did here with the bicep area, right here in the hips, you didn't have any paint, whereas now on the new one, you do. And it just, like I said, very, very subtle, but the look is dramatically different. I still love the very massive light piping that you have back here. Both look really very good. Obviously, you can take his little sword weapon and much like you did on the original, you can peg it here on the inside there just to kind of bulk him out and give him a little bit more of a menacing look. So, I mean, this is still a really very good figure. I just think that the subtle differences that have been added. One other thing, I mean, you can kind of see here, and I really did just notice this, is you got these silver screws, like right here, down here. You have one over here as well. I mean, you don't notice it too much, but the fact that they made them black on here is a nice little touch. Small little pieces like that really do stand out. So yeah, while I still think that this is a great figure, it absolutely is just made better with the new Takara one. You know, if I'm going to get something and pay money again, it needs to be able to replace the original. And so far, that Voyager class Optimus and Shockwave here absolutely do that. The only thing that I might change, and I guess I could have kind of left this out here, I kind of am thinking about swapping these hoses. I think that the black just looks a little bit better. Let's take a look. Let's see how that looks. So you just detach that. That pegs in there. That pegs in there. So, I don't know. I actually, you know, I am thinking that does look a little bit better, and I think that this, because of the lighter color, I think that it actually matches pretty decently with this. So I think that improves both of these figures, to be totally honest with you. This pig's in here very good. So honestly, I think that, like I said, it really works for both of the figures to swap them out. I just think that because this figure actually has black kind of throughout them, this kind of looks good. This lighter color, while not completely the same as the rest of this gray, I mean, you can kind of see, like I said, this has a little bit more of a purple. You can really see it down here. This has a bit more of a purple tinge to it than, obviously, the gray pieces. I'm actually really liking that, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to swap those out permanently. And Shockwave, I mean, a lot of people didn't like the way that Shockwave was kind of hyped up in the movie and then really wasn't, a big part of it. I actually liked him. I think that he served a pretty good purpose. And would I have liked to have seen more? Absolutely. But I liked seeing him in the movie just in general. So great update to the figure. If you have Dark of the Moon figures in your collection, this is definitely a step up from that original. So all that being said, without question, I would recommend picking this guy up. He's available right now at Big Bad Toy Store, so if you're looking for him, all you have to do is click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to BBTS where you can check out availability on this guy, as well as the rest of their wide range of Transformer figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Don't forget that if you like this video, so please hit that thumbs up button. It goes a long way towards helping me out, and I'd really appreciate it. Also, be sure to subscribe in case you haven't already subscribed. That way you get instant email notifications whenever I upload a new video, and you never miss out on a future review of mine. Or hey, if you're already subscribed, do me a favor and click that little bell right below this video. And then double check your settings to make sure that they're set so that you get those email notifications. And as always, until next time, be excellent to each other.